Hello and welcome to a mock draft. Maybe. Maybe. Hold on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Close this. Let's close this. Come on. Oh, we got it. Okay, sweet. Alright, welcome to a mock draft. We're going to be trying something different. I'm always in the favor of drafting running backs early and often, but we're going to try a zero running back team. I'm a little excited for this. Also, I don't have very high hopes for the team itself because it is so non-standard, I guess. But the theory is that since running backs bust at a higher rate than other positions, to use your high leverage picks, the early picks on wide receivers, quarterbacks, and tight ends, and draft your running backs in the later rounds, where you have guys that are much more easily replaceable on the waiver wire. And then it would also include favoring running backs on the waiver wire mid-season over other positions. You wouldn't need to look at waiver wire tight ends, for example, or waiver wire quarterbacks, or waiver wire defense. You just pound the waiver wire on running backs from week one. So we're gonna try this. The theory seems very interesting as a way to gain value. Wide receivers do show a little more predictability than running backs in terms of end of year standings. It's close anyway, but they do have an edge. So the draft is beginning in 8 seconds here. I have my rankings. Let's go peek. You can pause there if you really want. I don't care. All right. Goodness, that is loud. So we're going to be favoring wide receivers. The ideal pick to us will be Calvin Johnson. He is my number one. Although those first three wide receivers are pretty much interchangeable for me. I would take any of those three, being Dez, Demarius, and Calvin. We're on a first name basis. All right, LaShawn McCoy goes to number one. Hopefully these guys stay in the draft. Adrian Peterson number two, good so far. But I have those top three wide receivers as a tier to themselves, and then the next three, and maybe next four are a tier to themselves as well. Marshall, Green, Julio, and Jordy Nelson. Followed up by Antonio Brown, Alshon Jeffrey, Vincent Jackson, and Randall Cobb, Larry Fitzgerald, and Michael Floyd in a tier. So still nothing but running backs. This seems like a strategy that is only. So I picked the eighth draft spot. This is a spot where I would. Drew Brees goes early. Wow. This is a spot where I would normally look to pick DeMarco Murray or Monte Ball. But with this approach, we are going to be drafting the top rated of Calvin, Demarius, or Dez. Top rated remaining of, I should say. Calvin Johnson gets taken number 6. Not a huge surprise. Now here, the pick is probably. I got two choices here. The first choice would be Jimmy Graham. Let's see who's take it first, and we'll see. It's basically going to be down between Jimmy Graham or Demarius Thomas, and I think Jimmy Graham is probably the choice. I mean, if you're picking in the 7th spot and Graham is available, I think he's probably the choice in this strategy. Yeah, let's go with Jimmy Graham. Personally, I have him down as a mid-second rounder, which makes this kind of awkward. But no, let's do this. I haven't done a Jimmy Graham draft in a long time. Um, Jimmy Graham would be drafted over my personal preference to Marco Murray, but the other likely choice for the zero running back would be let's see, Demarius Thomas, I suppose. So now hopefully we'll wheel someone of Demarius or Dez. If not, we've got four other. There's basically seven wide receiver ones out there. Seven that I consider stud wide receiver ones. Um, we have seven of those. One of them should come back to me. Eddie Lacy goes very late, number 9. That's surprising. Not much has changed in the rankings recently. Arian Foster's been the biggest loser, I think. Ebron looks a little lame. I have less hope for him as a second tight end sleeper, I guess if you could call it. Um, Not that I value that very highly to begin with, but if you're looking for a backup tight end, if you have Rob Gronkowski, for example, or maybe to back up someone like Ertz or Pitta, there goes Aaron Rodgers earlier than I would have liked. Aaron Rodgers is another target for this kind of draft that you'd want, but I would want to get him in the late second, early third round, I guess. There's Peyton Manning. 3 quarterbacks in the first round. That seems so wrong. But that does mean only Demarius is gone, so Dez is still available. Dez now is the top pick on my board. Um, Dez is now gone. That is unfortunate. Brandon Marshall is now the best player on my board. Lynch is gone. Let me just catch up my own draft board. AJ Green, that's still fine. Still looking at Marshall. God, but DeMarco Murray and Monte Ball are still there. God, that's so unfair. I'm gonna stick with the zero running back thing. I wanna see what this team looks like. Because I don't mind the premise. I don't think it's outright wrong. It seems like it's mostly wrong. I don't know. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Zach Stacy off the board. That's early for Stacy. Um, and Arian Foster. So again, Ball and Murray are both on the board. That's like, I mean, a zero running back says to take Brandon Marshall, so I guess we're gonna take Brandon Marshall. I hate this. This feels so wrong. Cool, Brandon Marshall on my team. I like Brandon Marshall. Like, cool guy. All right. Well, the question of this strategy is whether you have to be able to amass enough talent on your other positions. So if you're getting average scores, you have maybe slightly above average scores from your running backs every week. The reason why you do slightly better than average is that you can be actually streaming and you have enough flexibility to play matchups a little more. So you can maybe do a little better than average. You're going to be at a deficit right off the bat. So let's say you're head to head against a team that starts Jamal Charles and Joik Bell, which is a very solid duo. Um, you're going to be in the hole, 8 to 15 points right off the bat from your running backs, which is why something like a player like Jimmy Graham is an absolute necessity. They can help bridge, perhaps half that gap on all on their own. So at this point, I'm going to be targeting. I need another wide receiver. I need a Julio. I would love Julio Jones or Jordy Nelson if either of those come back to me. Julio Jones and Alshon Jeffrey do not. They're both off the board. As is Murray and Martin. Murray and Martin. See, I feel like this is a draft where forcing the strategy is going to be at my own detriment. Um, because I forced it when the running backs were so wide open. There's Nelson. Oh, there's still a lot of picks to us. Antonio Brown is the best available. I'd be okay with Vincent Jackson. I'd be okay with Michael Floyd. Ideally, I'd like two of those. Um, there goes Antonio Brown. Guess he had a long touchdown catch. I mean, he caught the ball and then ran in today's preseason game. I was at the preseason game in Houston this evening. It was quite entertaining. I sat down just in time to see Jadeveon Clowney destroy. Who was it? The left tackle who got injured. There was Monte Ball, pick 24. Again, that just seems so wrong. I think Monte Ball very easily could finish as the RB5 or higher. I mean, he's insane. Randall Cobb, early for my tastes, but I guess it's coming up near his time. He's at the bottom of a tier. Vincent Jackson is now my preferred target. So I think at this point, waiting on a quarterback is probably correct. I want the last of Stafford, Luck, or Ryan, and they may run pretty quick. But I have a round 4 pick coming up real soon, and round 3 is too early to take Stafford, in my opinion. I've gotten him as late as round 7 in an actual money draft. That was it was a PPR league, so depresses values a little bit. Le'Veon Bell is gone. So when I look at these running backs that are here, I want running backs in the range of. Oh wow, I can go really low here. Yeah, I got plenty of time before I'm not looking at any running backs in the next few rounds even. Um, I'm looking at guys like Chris Ivory, Carlos Hyde, Jeremy Hill, D'Angelo Williams, Devonta Freeman, even Maurice Jones-Drew. Darren McFadden would be an excellent running back for this. Okay, let's see. A number of guys have just been taken. Reggie Bush, Alfred Morris, and Deshaun Jackson. I don't care about any of those. Oh, Gio Bernard is still on the board. Oh my god. This is why I like drafting running backs. They're just so good. Deshaun Jackson. Like if Gio gets back to me, my team right now could be. Let's see. Okay, there go. At least there's that. At least Gio's gone. Say it like that's a bad thing. It was almost such that my team could have been Monte Ball, DeMarco Murray, and Giovanni Bernard. So there goes Julius Thomas, which means Gronkowski's still on the board. That's interesting. Here it looks like Vincent Jackson is the choice. He's near the top of my rankings. He's near the top of everyone's rankings. He's a low end wide receiver one, and he's the top of a tier here that also includes Michael Floyd, but I can get Michael Floyd a little later. So Vincent Jackson is my pick. Again, I seem to end up with Vincent Jackson on damn near every team. I like the boom and bust players. I feel like, especially when you have a little bit of insight into their matchups, you can use to your advantage rather than your disadvantage. Um, Not that like you are realistically going to be benching Vincent Jackson when you draft him as your wide receiver too, but the ability to control his matchup slightly does help. And let's see. Michael Floyd is Larry Fitzgerald's the number one player on my board right now, but I would rather Gronkowski, who's another contender for that. Um, Ryan Matthews goes. Um, Stafford may be the choice here if he's still available. 'Cause I don't pick for a while, and I'd rather get at the beginning of a quarterback run than the end of a quarterback run, given the composition of this team. Since it's so tough. Yeah, I think I take a quarterback here, um, pretty much regardless of who gets taken at this point. I think it was Gore very early. Um, I'm intrigued. I don't know if the seven spot is where you want to be. Um, I think this would be have been a little better in like the 9 or the 10. Um, I don't mind the Jimmy Graham pick for number one overall. I mean, my first overall, but number seven overall. It was Victor Cruz. Vincent Cruz. There goes Stafford. Okay, so it has begun. Choice then is Luck or Ryan, um, for my own quarterback. CJ Spiller goes. Well, it is a little tricky. I could pass on a quarterback. What does that get me? If I pass on a quarterback, I can get Larry Fitzgerald or Keenan Allen. There goes Andre Ellington. Because I think I can get Michael Floyd on the way back in the fifth round. I'd rather. I think Floyd straight up is better than Allen. But if I can get both. So many running backs have been going lately now, which means wide receivers might be next. Luck, Ryan, or 15 seconds. Shit. I think I want to take a quarterback here. Take Andrew Luck. I don't know if this is right. I don't know if that's right. Okay. My thinking here is that I need to overuse I guess a buzzword right now. I need a difference maker. I hate that word. I need a player that can be a legitimate first team option at the quarterback position. This draft strategy. So the guys who take the running backs early, like my typical strategy, I will end up with a quarterback in the Roethlisberger, Cutler, Bradford, Smith, Griffin, Rivers, Newton, that kind of range. Quarterback 10 through 16, I'll end up with one or two of those on my team. That seems to be the general trend. So one of the ways to bridge the gap, the scoring gap between that team and mine, is with Jimmy Graham, but the other way is going to be with my quarterback. So I have to take a quarterback there. I have Luck straight up better than Ryan at this point. They're very close. They're on the same tier. Both just a step back, half step back behind Matthew Stafford. But I wanted to lock in getting myself a quarterback. We'll see what quarterback is available on the way back. There goes Keenan Allen and Andre Johnson. Two guys that I'm not too sad about missing out on. Roddy White and Larry Fitz. Roddy White, which I am really low on Roddy White. That's almost too low. Ben Tate, Cam Newton. Newton I have pretty low. Ben Tate, RB20. And there goes Vernon Davis as well, who I think is in for a huge letdown year. Um, so let's see, let's clear this. And Torrey Smith goes very early as well. So now I have two wide receivers, but my flex is almost certainly going to be a wide receiver. So I think I want one more wide receiver before I start looking at running backs. At least if this breaks down the way I'm expecting it to, that's what this is going to be. I'm looking at Michael Floyd for my next pick, but I could also see Cordero Patterson. I'm just I think Floyd is a. I guess I think he's miles better. So there's Hilton, Welker, and Harvin. Three guys I am not interested in at all. Hilton especially, yuck. There goes Trent Richardson. Rashad Jennings, one more. Just gotta fade one more. And I get Michael Floyd. Michael Floyd, give me Michael Floyd. I think he's in for a monster year. Toby Gerhart. Michael Floyd is mine. Okay. I like this. God, I like this team a lot so far. We'll see what running backs I get stuck with here. This is probably where I'm going to be looking to take my first running back. Now, like the idea isn't to just like have bad running backs. Like you don't want to just like purposely suck. Like you're better off having better players. But the question is which players you go out and you pay for. There goes Gerhart. There goes Rice. Not Rice. No, Rice is still there. Rice is still there. That's good news. Crabtree and Patterson, though, I have them back to back. I highlight Floyd in my color. And there goes Chris Johnson, who I also have pretty low. Not a lot of excitement right now. Come on, Chris Johnson, color. There we go. So coming back around, who am I going to be eyeing? Joique Bell, if he's still on the board. Goodness, if I end up with Joique Bell here, that'd be pretty darn sweet. Bishop Sankey is gone. Yeah, so Bell is far and away the best choice for me. But I also like Vereen, and I guess I like Ray Rice here as well. Jason Witten, okay. This tight ends are going very late in this draft so far. That was only the fifth tight end off the board. Julian Edelman, that's pretty good there. So I just gotta fade two picks here, so I can end up with Joique Bell, who I think is significantly better than the next running back. And I guess being in a timeshare, I guess that limits his injury risk slightly. If you assume injuries are more likely, the more playing time a person gets. I'm looking at Joique Bell here. Basically taking Joique Bell or Shane Vereen and being very disappointed if I end up with Vereen. I must say, so far I like this team a lot. I was very skeptical of this strategy when jumping into the draft. I almost wanted to do a dry run um, without video just to see what it's like, just so I'm not caught by just so it's not a total waste of time. But this team is turning out quite nice. So there goes RG3 and RG3 so early, and I go ahead and scoop up Drake Bell. So he is my first running back, but I'm okay with that. I think this is way outside my comfort zone. Nick Foles goes, and I don't like Nick Foles very much at all. In fact, I got him as my looks like QB7. I feel like he should be lower. I feel like Kaepernick and Wilson should be ahead of him, and then Romo should be ahead of him also, which would put Foles down at QB10. Also seems really low. Um, there goes Terrence Williams, who is excellent, but who I clearly have too low. I think he should be moved up. Colin Kaepernick goes. Steven Jackson goes. Now here's where I kind of wish I would have waited on a QB. Um, I could have like Larry Fitzgerald or Keenan Allen on my team right now. I think if I would have not taken Luck, but then there's still a few picks left. Matt Ryan is still on the board. Is the big one. Where, yeah, Matt Ryan right there. Shane Vereen goes. So there goes my hopes of getting him. That means I'm looking at Pierre Thomas, Danny Woodhead. And there goes Matt Ryan. So he would not have made it back to me. Um, which means taking Luck is probably good. And Macklin, I feel like I have too high. I think he should be lower. For reference, this is what the draft board looks like right now. I can hide this for a few minutes. Orange are the guys that we have. Let's see. Round 1 was Graham. Round 2 was Brandon Marshall. Round 3 was Vincent Jackson, I think. Yeah. Round 4 was Andrew Luck. Round 5 was Floyd. And round 6 was Bell. There goes Reggie Wayne and Kiri Robinson. Why Robinson really low? Okay. So here we can take another running back, which I think is probably an okay choice. I think I'd rather have a wide receiver though. Um, Kendall Wright is still on the board, and I really like him. Oh, this is not a PPR, is it? No, decisions. There's Eric Decker. Let's take Eric Decker. Where is he? If I can find him. If I can find him. Eric Decker. Eric Decker, right there. Did I pick him? God damn it. I got Pierre Thomas. Whatever. I like Pierre Thomas. He's the highest ranked running back on my team, or on the board. All right, I got Pierre Thomas. Well, that should have been Eric Decker. Um, I waited too long on that one. Whatever. It's confusing me because I hadn't been keeping up with my draft board. So MJD is gone. Pierre Thomas is mine. Emmanuel Sanders. Kerry Robinson. Reggie Wayne. Stephen Ridley and Jordan Cameron. Okay, now I'm all caught up. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm not sure. I guess that's a fine pick, Pierre Thomas. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. Part of me really wants to have take to get that pick back. There goes Lamar Miller. There goes Brandon Cooks. Sammy Watkins. So here, I could go with another running back, which I'm actually not minding because Jeremy Hill's on the board, and so is Terrence West. I like both. I like what I've seen from West. I like what I've heard about Hill as far as what he's going to be doing in that offense. Um, I think both are very fine, and if the strategy is to work, I think you need to have the right cogs at running back. I mean, I don't think you can make it work with just anybody. And the goal is to use your early picks, the high leverage ones, on sure things: Marshall, Vincent Jackson, Michael Floyd, Joique Bell. Jimmy Graham, Andrew Luck. These guys are sure things in the fantasy world. You know, to the extent that we can label them. Let's see then. McFadden is the highest ranked. McFadden and Woodhead are the highest ranked on my board. Um, but I don't think they're quite what I want here. Don't need a tight end. Don't need a quarterback. I mean, I could take like Tony Romo, but again, I don't think that's worth it. I got Eric Decker. There's Kendall Wright is gone. Bernard Pierce is gone. If you even got like Bernard, yeah, I'll take Carlos Hyde. He's not the highest ranked player on my board, but he's close. I feel like I kind of need to move him up a little. But he's the type of guy I want for this. I don't need him to fill in right away. He has time to get acclimated to the NFL. But he's the kind of guy who could be the lead back of a powerful offense if things go right for me. Wrong for Frank Gore, but right for me. Um, and then Phil Rivers goes afterward. Um, I think if Decker or Wallace is still available, I think I have to take them. They're just such a huge step above everything else below. Then let's pull this over one more time. There's Decker and Wallace right here, and then Cooper sitting down here, and we got some rookies and some very unappealing fantasy. I don't know. You don't want to be drafting these guys in a redraft league. No, really. I mean, none of those are exciting. Not Aaron Dobson. He's exciting, kind of. And DeAndre Hopkins. I like Hopkins. I guess Bo's okay too. Okay, so I'm kind of bad mouthing these guys. They're not that bad, but you're not excited about them. So there goes Dangerous. There goes Wallace and Evans. So now Decker stands alone. Evans. Decker is gone. No, Decker. No, no. Okay. Um, so then I think we do one more running back. We do Terrence West if it comes back. We do West or Hill since all these wide receivers are the same. They're not the same, but it's a very gradual sloped, hardly a tier. I mean, there are tiers within it. You don't go from Cooper all the way down to Ruben Randall without a tier break, but the tier is so gradual that it doesn't really Like they're all very fungible. There's Ertz, Stills. Oh, there's also still McFadden. I don't know. I mean, he's not old. He's just Darren McFadden. Um, Dude's like 26. It's crazy. There goes Sproles. And there's Shorts and Ivory. Ivory, Shorts. LGB. You know when guys like LeGarrette Blunt are going, that it's getting down to crunch time. Um, and Hakeem Nicks. So there we got DeAndre Hopkins and we got some running backs. I'm picking again really quickly. So, well, yeah, and I think DeAndre Hopkins could be a step above all these other guys down here. Again, I don't know why I haven't ranked this way then. I like Hopkins over Cooper. I like Hopkins over Bo. So I should probably rank it this way. But I wouldn't. I got to revisit these rankings. Um, I like Hopkins. I'm gonna take DeAndre Hopkins here and look to get West Hill or Fred Jackson with the 113. Actually, Fred Jackson would be a pretty sweet play as well. I know I said Fred Jackson twice. I mean, I meant as well as West or Hill, which was my original target. There's still Andre Williams as well. So there's a lot of these. I guess they're rookie lottery picks. But the rookie lottery picks are the rookie running backs with defined roles. They're not the guys like Devontae Freeman, for example, that doesn't have a defined role. He's just a guy that's not the starter, and you don't know if he's the backup. He might be the backup before the end of the season. There goes Fred Jackson, who maybe should have been the pick there, to be honest. Um, it goes Noshawn Marino and Jeremy Hill. Okay, so the rookies are starting to go, which means I'm targeting West or Andre Williams. Again, I don't know why I have Freeman ranked above Andre Williams. I need to revisit. These are from August 14th. That's three days ago. I mean, doesn't seem like a lot, but this is also the first draft I've done since revisiting the rankings last time. So this is good. This is good. So far, no one's trolling this draft, which is nice. There goes West. So now I'm down to Andre Williams, or there's a couple other guys like Green needs to go down, Sims needs to go way down, Sims needs to be off. We delete Sims. Whenever you use a set of rankings for anything that's serious, like when you're choosing your lineup or drafting, make sure you check the date that they were last updated. Any set of rankings worth reading will tell you clear as day, very top, very bottom, somewhere obvious, exactly when these rankings were updated. There goes Kyle Rudolph, who had a huge day today at pre-game against the Cardinals. The Cardinals have kind of been a fantasy gold mine for opposing tight ends for a couple of years now, so I don't know how much to read into that. as someone who owns him on a couple of dynasty teams. Okay, so here Tony Romo is still available, but I think we need a running back. I want Andre Williams. He has a clear path to the starting spot. Andre Williams here. This again going against my rankings because I think my rankings need to be adjusted further. This is being picked over Woodhead and McFadden. No, Woodhead is fine. Let's do Danny Woodhead. He's high enough ranked above Andre Williams. I can maybe get Andre Williams on my next pick. And Danny Woodhead is a fine so-called cog. Goes Bolden and Bo. Bo, I guess just missing the one game, but he has some sort of a finger thing as well. I don't know exactly what that is. Bolden is gone. I don't have any faith in him. So what is this team missing? Obviously, it's still missing kicker and defense. Goes Benjamin. A lot of picks now. There goes Pitta and Cooper. It's a little late for both. Wow. Pitta in the it's pick 117. Panthers D. Danny Amendola. Sean Green. Who's completely worthless. And not as a person or a football player. I'm sure he's fine. He's better than I am, but he's kind of a rotten fantasy player. I think I have enough running backs. There goes McFadden, Mason, and Clay. McFadden, Mason. Let's do Gordon. I mean, might as well go Gordon. It's the 11th round. Yeah, I like that. Andre Williams is gone. Yeah, basically, all the guys are gone that I would want to draft here, except for Aaron Dobson, maybe. Greg Jennings, that's a good pick. Who else did I miss? No one. Okay, Donald Brown. Mark Ingram, he's actually on my list. So if Devonta Freeman or Kristen Michael are available, I guess I pick them. Otherwise, I think I could pick Tony Romo here and end up with a really sweet quarterback situation. They're just more exciting than the alternatives. Justin Hunter is pretty sweet. Okay, and Jay Cutler is not so bad either. There's some solid value still left in here. There goes Steve Smith. Just won't die. Again, in fantasy, I don't want him to actually perish. I'm sure he's a nice. No, I don't know if he's a nice dude, but I'm sure he's a person. Tavon Austin. Come on, big money, no whammies. Do I want Romo or do I just want to slam Justin Hunter on the bench? Just be like, I mean, I need a backup quarterback at some point. I mean, I have a bye week. Brandon LaFell, okay. Oh, and Justin Hunter and Tony Romo both go. God, that sucks. Okay. Shoot. I guess I need. I don't need a. Do I want to take a DST slightly early because I need extra points? I could see that. Rams DST. Jordan Reed is on the. God, Jordan Reed's still on the board. Seems wrong to take the Rams DST when that. Oh God. Okay, I'm getting a little flustered here. I don't take a quarterback. I think I'm just gonna take the DST. It seems so wrong. I want. Give me them Rams DST. Why not? I think they have a legitimate chance to be a top five defense, as silly as that is. But I'm not really okay with it. I mean, it's the 12th round. That's one round earlier than I would normally advocate, which is not that much of a stretch. Um, Romo is gone. Hunter is gone. Aaron Dobson is still there. Um, Devonta Freeman is gone, right? No, Devonta Freeman is still there. As is Kristen Michael, maybe. I don't see him on the board. No, Kristen Michael is gone. Show unavailable. I was gone way back there. Bengals DST at 144. That's a steal. Yeah, I shouldn't have taken the Rams. I could have gotten like, well, so who do I take now? I think I take Freeman if he's still on the board. I don't know. This is. I feel like I really should be taking Jordan Reed. He's just like he's so good. I kind of hope he gets taken before me. Martellus Bennett. Like I have Jimmy Graham, but I could have Jimmy Graham and Jordan Reed. I mean, they have different bye weeks, so I mean, at least there's that. And Jimmy Graham's bye week is relatively early. Or should I take Freeman, a player that like I have four running backs on my team right now. Yeah, I'm gonna do Jordan Reed. He's just far and away better than the other players on my board. It's a little awkward because really, when am I gonna start Jordan Reed when I have Jimmy Graham? The worst case scenario is that you can drop him after week 6. Um, I mean, even if he's disappointing weeks 1 through 5, unless he's off the field entirely, he's going to be started in week 6. So he's going to be better than the waiver wire trash, you know. Let's drag Freeman over here. Who else would I settle for? Bryce Brown. It's not bad. Chris Polk is probably the handcuff in Philadelphia, which I guess has value. I mean, Freeman's still the number one pick for me here. C.J. Anderson goes. I guess that's a good pick. At this point in the draft. I always forget these are 16 rounds, not 15. Carson Palmer's not a bad choice, but Andrew Luck doesn't have his bye till week 10. I think I can figure something out about my quarterback between now and then. Um, so I don't think I need to draft a backup. And the kickers start going off the board. If this lets me take Freeman, I'll be very happy. Ladarius Green, another good backup tight end. Yeah, I'll take. I would have taken Freeman last round, but instead I get Reed and Freeman. Um, Dwyer. So I got one bench player and a kicker. The bench player is going to be a wide receiver or quarterback. I mean, I really might. I mean, I could probably just cut the draft off here. There's really nothing else of note that's going to happen. Let's pick through the last picks and see if there's any gems we can find. Just point out. Come on, you know you can. One pick and he gets an auto pick, and then an auto pick, and then it's back to you, and then an auto pick, and then an auto pick. Alright, well, let's just start picking this through this name here. These names here. Get rid of these. Get rid of this. James Jones, completely horrible. Carson Palmer, definite possibility. Jordan Totman, sure. Hawkins and Carey are fine. McCown, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Maybe Bryce Brown. Lance Dunbar. Yeah, let's look at Lance Dunbar. Um, Bryce Brown got taken. Curses. Um, Robert Turbin. Oh, that's a sexy pick. Yeah, like the Bucks DST is still available. Wish I would have taken them instead. Aaron Dobson. And see, this is why you don't take a DST early. I took one in the 13th or 12th round. Took St. Louis in the 12th round. Tampa Bay is still available. New Orleans is still available. It's the what 15th round? Yeah, it's the 15th round. You could be getting these guys in the 15th, 16th rounds even. Um, so I think I want Aaron Dobson. Nah. Yeah, I think I want Aaron Dobson. I need another wide receiver. I don't need another wide. Well, I got Gordon. I can pick up a waiver wire guy. I'm gonna do Robert Turbin. I think he's the best of these three. Um, my opinion on Robert Turbin is that, yeah, this forced me to draft a kicker. That's so annoying. I think about Robert Turbin. I think he's actually the number two in Seattle. If Marshawn Lynch goes down, Robert Turbin's going to be getting 18 carries a game. It's not going to be Christine Michael. I think the Michael hype is kind of ridiculous. It's because he looks good running. He has a good highlight reel. He was never productive in college. He wasn't very good in college. I mean, good compared to me, good compared to, the average person, not good compared to the average NFL bell cow running back. And his tenure in Seattle has been, how many snaps has he played in the NFL? Um, he Robert Turbin has he's played the number two very well over his tenure, and I think he's actually number two on the depth chart, and I think he's capable, kind of like a Mark Ingram, not overly good, but far from bad. Kickers, I have to pick a kicker. That's annoying. Anyway, let's take a look at the team here. We have Andrew Luck as the quarterback. Um, the strategy starts off strong. Let's see, Robbie Gould or Matt Bryant. Let's do Matt Bryant. I like that offense. Um, Highlight of the team is Jimmy Graham at tight end and the wide receivers Brandon Marshall and Vincent Jackson. Um, Also Michael Floyd, who could be a wide receiver one in the flex spot. That core of four players is what is carrying this team. Andrew Luck is a bit of a disappointment. I think this would play out much better if you could secure Aaron Rodgers, um, or a player of that caliber, a Drew Brees. I think, like if you go Jimmy Graham in the first round and they come back around and take Drew Brees in the second round, I think that would be excellent for this strategy. Um, but then for running backs, this is where it's interesting. Joique Bell, Pierre Thomas, Carlos Hyde, um, Danny Woodhead. They're okay. They're what I'm looking for, which is just cheap, replaceable cogs. You know, if one goes down, it doesn't matter. I got one right behind him. They're all about the same value. They're all about the same. You know, aside from Joique Bell, Joique Bell is the fact that you can do the strategy and get Joique Bell on your team is going a long way towards selling me on it. I wish this was a team that I could actually play throughout the season. I will probably have to try one of these um, for a money draft, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. My name is Dylan Lurch. I do these every once in a while. Quick on the draw on Reddit and DT Lurch on Twitter. All right, thank you.